What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the first list video I've done in a while, a long while, and quite a few years on this channel. Those videos are now privated and non-existent as far as you're concerned. But this video, as you can probably tell with the title, is one that's a little bit, a bit touch and go. I don't want to seem like I'm totally anti-WWE on this channel because I'm not. But this video, as you can tell with the title, is 10 wrestlers who are signed to one company, but realistically should be signed somewhere else. I will say there's more than one person who's in WWE that I think should be somewhere else, but there's also someone I think should be in WWE, so I'm not totally anti-WWE. I just think that a lot of people in WWE could be getting used better elsewhere. But for now, let's just crack on with the video. This is the first list I'm doing now, part of my new schedule. Monday will be a rambling, Tuesday will be a list, Wednesday, Thursday will be reviews of Impact and AEW. And then if anything happens, if I get an interview, if I get WrestleCrate, they will come out at the weekends. Before we get into it, I will say this is going from the person who I think could benefit. The number one will be the person I think could benefit the most from moving company. So starting from 10 and working my way down the list of people that, are combined factors including like how long they've been in wherever, how long they've got left, what they're doing in the company they're already in. And it's going down to number one, who's the person I think could benefit the most out of every signed wrestler from a change of scenery. And with that note, let's just crack on with the list. At number 10, I've got Abaddon from AEW to Impact. Impact they've not been shy about using the Undead Realm and the spooky stuff with Rosemary and Father James Mitchell and Su Yung. And having Abaddon, this like creepy zombie woman character, go to Impact seems like the perfect place for it. AEW do lean into the silliness quite a lot, but Impact seems like a more natural fit for her and her character. I know the phrase is that beggars can't be choosers, and right now AEW's women's division is on the ropes. It is not their fault. They did rely a lot heavily on Joshi wrestlers at the start of the promotion's lifespan, and now with coronavirus and COVID and the travel restrictions, they don't have many of those marquee names in the company right now, so they're having to retread the Nyla and Shida stuff. But overall, I like Abaddon, but I don't think she gives a lot to AEW's product. Like I say, they do lean into the silliness of it. They've got, a wrestling dinosaur and all that kind of stuff. But I think Abaddon's style, her aesthetic look, and her wrestling style would actually match very well with the Impact Women's Division and their freedom to go crazy with the supernatural stuff like they have in the past. Like Father James Mitchell was revived by Havoc to officiate the wedding between Johnny Bravo and Rosemary. Overall, I don't think Abaddon is a bad fit with AEW by any stretch of the imagination. I just think if she was to go somewhere that would maximise her potential, it's definitely Impact. Number 9 is Aleister Black from WWE to New Japan. But you thought I was going to say AEW, but no, New Japan. This one's very straightforward, I think. Aleister Black is a fantastic wrestler, a very good, strong style performer. He grew up, didn't watch American wrestling growing up. He actually grew up watching New Japan and All Japan because that was what was on the TV in Holland when he was growing up. He works a very deliberate, fast-paced, snug style that would fit perfectly in New Japan never openweight division across the likes of Minoru Suzuki and Shingo Takagi, and I do definitely think he would have an incredible match across the likes of Naito, Okada, Evil, Tanahashi, a stage as grand as Wrestle Kingdom. I don't think he's been wasted in WWE, although I've not watched a lot. I know that he had an eye patch, then he turned on Kevin Owens when they played the static sound from 2K18 as crowd noise in the Thunderdome. But I don't think he's been wasted by any stretch of the imagination. He could definitely be used better. But he's also one of those people that they've not yet ruined. They gave him the weird creaky noise when he used to pop up on the thing. But I think at the end of the day, Vince sees a lot of what Hunter saw in him. And even though he might make some changes and make him a spooky man instead of just somebody who likes metal and kicking people really hard, I think at the core of it, Vince gets the character of Aleister Black and has yet to really ruin all of his credibility. So I don't think he, should move. I think if he's happy being in WWE, maybe less happy now that his wife was sacked for supporting unionisation. I'm not saying he should leave, but I do think if he was to leave, he could benefit a lot from a move to New Japan. And that's why he's quite high up on this list, because I don't think he's been wasted, but I do think his potential would be maximised in Japan. I told you there was going to be somebody going to WWE in this, and here it is. Number 8, Rohit Raju, the current X Division champion, I think would benefit the most in WWE. Now, I know he's a small guy, Vince doesn't like that, but think about Lio Rush. He loved Lio Rush. Think about Drake Maverick, he loves him. All these guys, these smaller guys, who are brilliant wrestlers and just have this innate charisma about them. Although Lio Rush and Drake Maverick were wasted in Vince's eyes, that was the perfect way to use them. But regardless, he definitely sees something in people that put character just as high, if not higher, than their in-ring work. As an in-ring worker, you know, Rohit's incredible. I think he would be one of the few things that could breathe life into 205 Live, maybe. But even that, you put him on Raw, I could see, you know, the perfect foil for him being someone like a Kevin Owens. Or have him, you know, be the thorn in the side of pretty much just playing the Sami Zayn role. Just this little annoying dick heel, but who can get wins when he needs to get it done. But a lot of the time he'll just go, I'd rather save my body and get a wee sneaky roll up or a sneaky low blow and put my feet on the ropes. You know, like I said, I do imagine him across the ring from people like the Mysterios. I think you have some good stuff with them. Kevin Owens, Buddy Murphy. Just thinking about all the possible mixes of like matches that he could have in WWE wrestling, just anyone really, and even as a mouthpiece for some people. I think he'd be really good, and I think Rohit, if he was ever to make his way to Stamford, could thrive. And at number 7 now, this is a controversial one because he's quite far down this list, and I know I said the people that need the move more will be towards the top, but I'm pretty sure his contract is close to ending in WWE. So in at number 7, I have Ricochet with a move back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, not AEW. Why not AEW? I think it's a bit too obvious, and I think the junior division in New Japan needs that big foreign star like they had in Will Ospreay. But Will Ospreay has now moved up to the heavyweight division. They've still got some incredible wrestlers in there still, like Robbie Eagles and ELP. But they're not the mega stars on the level that Ospreay and Ricochet and Omega and Cody and the Bucks and Hangman and all these people were as big draws to the West. I think a move for Ricochet over to New Japan to slide right back in to the junior heavyweight division and have matches with the likes of Hiromu and Ishimori, Robbie Eagles and ELP and just anyone really, I think would be a fantastic move for his career. Would I like to see him in AEW? Yes, but do I think it's where he would benefit from the most? Not right now, not necessarily. Obviously he's a fantastic wrestler and his up-tempo, fast-paced style would fit in perfectly in Jacksonville. But I also think AEW's becoming a little bit top-heavy right now with all these signings. And I do think, you know, I know that TNT has commissioned a second show that's not Dark. Dark will continue to live on YouTube. I know that TNT almost immediately commissioned a second show. But right now, until they get that worked out, or they promote Dark more, or they just, you know, I don't think it's a problem yet. It's definitely not a problem yet, but adding in another high-profile, top-level star to AEW is a little bit weird, and I don't think he should go for another couple of years because all the heavyweight title storylines have pretty much been planned out and written in the stars since day one for the first few years. So I think if he has to get out of his contract soon, which I believe will be in the next year or so, unless he signed an extension at the start of the pandemic, which I don't know, hope he didn't, I would like to see him return to Japan and really make out a name for himself in New Japan Pro Wrestling. In at number 6, we have a bit of a cheat answer here. It's a tag team. Well, they were a tag team, and they've since been split up by WWE. And it's the Iconics. It is the Iconics. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, or Cassie and Jesse, should leave WWE without a doubt. Vince never knew how to use them. Hunter barely knew how to use them, realistically, because without a women's tag team title in NXT, they just sort of like, they were still always high profile, they were still always very, very important parts of the show. But I always felt like they were a little bit positionless without a tag titles to be going after. And now Vince has brought them up because he sees Peyton as a star, and then almost immediately put her back into a tag team with Lacey Evans for no reason. And I don't get it. Obviously, putting them in AEW is the natural fit, mainly because AEW's women's division needs bolstered in a major way. Obviously, they just picked up Serena Deeb. Thunder Rosa has been there quite a bit. They've had in the likes of Layla Hirsch and Alison Kay and all these different people. But they missed out on Deonna Purrazzo at the start of the pandemic, which I believe Kenny said, they regret, but there's nothing they can do about it. Their women's division needs bolstered with everyone, all their biggest stars, either hurt or stuck abroad. And I think if the Iconics were to be released from their WWE contracts or wait till it was over, Jacksonville would welcome them with open arms. I'm just thinking about some of the matches we could have. I mean, realistically, it could be anyone. Just think about how entertaining they are. Think about the promo segments they could have. Think about, even if they had like a backstage argument with the likes of Chris Jericho or MJF, and have Billy or Jesse just talk at them and just keep doing that. Imagine the matches they could have with the likes of Big Swole, Britt Baker, Serena Deeb, Allysin Kay, if they bring her back some more, Shida, Nyla Rose. Just there's so many wrestlers that they could have brilliant stuff or absolute gold with in All Elite Wrestling. And I hope that Vince works out that they are money as a unit, or he'll lose them. Number 5 is someone who has recently just signed for WWE, and I want her out of there. She's apparently signed to the NXT UK brand as a sort of trainer and wrestler. And I know that money's tight in the middle of all this, there's nothing going on. But it's Meiko Satomura, and much like the Iconics, Meiko Satomura should go to AEW. The women's division needs bolstered, needs a big name star to continue to have these incredible matches. And, the best matches in the women's division, without a doubt, have been Hikaru Shida's matches. She works this, very deliberate style with an intensity and a level that's only really matched by quite few women in the world. I would say Shayna Baszler is one of them. I would say Manami Toyota back in the day is also definitely one of them. Layla Hirsch does it. Mercedes Martinez does it. Rhea Ripley does it. And the person who does it the best is Meiko Satomura. Meiko Satomura just gets in the ring and just beats the shit out of anyone there. If you want an example, look at her match with Jordynne Grace from Progress. Another great example of this would be her match with Toni Storm from the Mae Young Classic, where they just went in there and just said, okay, you're winning, cool. Do you want to just beat the shit out of each other for 15 minutes? And that's what they did. And it was amazing. Meiko's obviously stepped in. She's, older. She doesn't have a long time left ahead of her, but I definitely think she's still got a few good years of just high-level production. She doesn't even need to wrestle that much, but if she was to go anywhere other than WWE, fingers crossed she goes to AEW to, once again, like I said, with the Iconics, bolster that women's division and give some credibility, a new recognisable face, and a new credible threat to Shida. Number 4 is a man that I spoke about very highly of in my Turning Point review, and that is Willie Mack from Impact Wrestling. Now, I think Willie Mack is a perfect fit in Impact. A near perfect fit, I should say. But there is one place I think he would be an absolutely perfect fit, and that's All Elite Wrestling. I absolutely love Willie Mack. He's got this incredible intensity, this incredible athleticism. I compare him to Keith Lee in my last video, and I'm not just doing that like some racist idiots on Twitter go, hey look, it's an African American man who weighs around 300 pounds doing moonsaults. That's Keith Lee. No, it's Willie Mack. It's quite simply Willie Mack. But the comparisons between the two with their wrestling style are there. They're two just incredible brutes who are larger than life characters with incredible personalities and gimmicks, a lot of charisma, and physically are two of the best professional wrestlers in the world that you're ever going to see. And Keith Lee and Willie Mack are, probably proven draws. I imagine Willie Mack makes a lot of money for Impact, and the fact he's not pulled the trigger on him really confuses me. In All Elite Wrestling, he could match up perfectly with the likes of Jake Hager, Dustin Rhodes, a Luchasaurus, another flippy big man, as well as having, big man, little man matches with the likes of Darby Allin, or even Marco Stunt if you want to bring him in as a heel. Think about the match you could have with the likes of Moxley, MJF, Jericho, Sammy Guevara. Any member of the male roster in All Elite Wrestling would be amazing to see a Willie Mack wrestle. And I just really hope that Impact see the star they've got on their hands, because if they don't, they might lose him. We're here at the top 3 now, and number 3 is Ben Carter from NXT UK, even though he's not officially debuted, to All Elite Wrestling, where it looked like he was going to go. This probably won't come as much as a surprise. Ben Carter obviously fits in there. He was on that Late Night Dynamite and had that incredible match with Scorpio Sky. a man that was trained by Seth Rollins and Mark Brave at Black and Brave. One of Alex Shelley's favourite wrestlers in the world. And I just think that Ben Carter, he will just become everything that makes someone different in WWE 9 times out of 10 is stripped from them. Their originality is stripped. And in NXT, it's a lot better. In NXT, you have the next person I'm going to talk about, actually, so far from what I've seen, hasn't had their originality stripped and has to wrestle this formulaic WWE or NXT style match. They're still allowed to go out and do what they do. But someone like Ben Carter, he's not the tallest guy in the world, he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's just another flippy indie boy who will more than likely be just ground into dust if he ever makes the WWE main roster. And that makes me sad. Obviously, like I say, he's already been in AEW, he's already proved that he's a natural fit with that style. And even though I've not got a lot to say about him in this entry, I'd literally just go watch Late Night Dynamite or watch any Ben Carter match and you'll see how easily he could fit in AEW. I mean, the fact he's been there sort of speaks volumes, but the reason I've put him this high is because he definitely needs that move. He had his breakout performance on TNT on Late Night Dynamite, and he's now going to NXT UK, which I like, but I don't watch, because does anyone really watch it? I just catch up on it if there's been a big match, like the Walter and Ilya match, which, by the way, was incredible. Some dream matches for him in AEW. A rematch of Scorpio Sky for one. Darby, Cody, someone like Wardlow, Jungle Boy. Just the matches would be endless. They really would. Number 2, someone I alluded to in the Ben Carter entry, is someone who is yet to have his originality stripped away from WWE, but let's not be too optimistic. We should probably realise that it's more than likely going to happen within the next couple of years. And it's Timothy Thatcher to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Timothy Thatcher, when he finished up on the Indies, he said his goal was to get Japan. He wanted people to know about him in Japan. He wanted to go and wrestle in Japan. And apparently made contact with New Japan, and they just kind of went, "I don't really know who you are, mate. Sorry about that." And he just knew he had an offer on the table from WWE and signed it. Thatcher is this hard-nosed, broken teeth brawler who, was a stalwart of the European indie scene for a very long time, if you don't know. He should never cut promos. The allure of Timothy Thatcher on the indies is that, not he's necessarily a bad promo, he's not, but the allure of him is that he just would come out, beat the shit out of someone, and leave. Win or lose, he would always just, there was no frills to it, no fucking around. And obviously that's not going to work. In WWE, you need to have a little bit of talking and a little bit of more character, but at the same time, why can't his character be, I'm the best at this, and I'm going to prove to everyone that I'm the best? Typically in WWE, the whole, I'm a very good wrestler gimmick doesn't really work unless you are an incredible professional wrestler, like Timothy Thatcher is. I had an incredible match with Oney Lorcan on an episode of NXT recently enough where, I think Triple H just went, don't wrestle a WWE match, wrestle a match that Oney Lorcan and Biff Busick would have had on like an indie like 5 years ago. And they did, and it was amazing. But then you think about the people that could be wrestling in New Japan. For one, Minoru Suzuki. I've seen that match. OTT's 4th anniversary show, he wrestled Minoru Suzuki in Dublin, and it was amazing. Then you got the likes of Okada, Naito, Evil, Shingo, Tanahashi, Jay White, Bad Luck Fale, Will Ospreay, for one. There are so many wrestlers that I would love to see just Timothy Thatcher wrestle out in New Japan. And we won't for 3 to 5 years. I don't know how long the NXT contracts are right now. And that makes me sad. Hopefully, Tiger Hattori and everyone else in New Japan, because I know they all like WWE, I hope they watch and they go, hey, that's that guy that phoned us and we didn't know who he was. Let's get on the phone. Let's get on the phone and find out when he's free. Because that would be amazing. And number 1, someone that I've mentioned earlier. Someone that seemed like a surefire, it seemed like there is no way you can fuck this up, and then WWE did it. It's Keith Lee. How do you take this behemoth of a man, this charismatic, fun, incredible wrestler with all the charisma and all the babyface power in the world, who sings his own entrance music and gets everyone dancing and off their feet? First of all, you put him in a swimsuit because Vince doesn't like his wrestlers to have a belly, even though like Keith Lee is probably all 300 odd pounds of just sheer muscle. That's just the way that he's built, because some people don't show visible abs, they just pack on muscle under what looks like a belly. 2, you give him bland, generic rock music. I know he's recorded his new theme, but it's not been out yet. So he's still generic, boring WWE man 4. Because he's now on the main roster, he's not allowed to be Keith Lee and do his ranas and do his moonsaults and do his nip-ups and his monkey flips and all of his like super athletic fun stuff. All because he needs to fit this WWE style, this WWE mold. It's like, I don't even know. They just put everything. It's like, the best way I can describe it is Keith Lee is like a Big Mac meal. You've got your lovely burger, you get your chips, you've got your cola or your milkshake or your Fanta or your whatever. And that's great and everyone loves it. And then WWE go, you know, you like that thing? Just stick oil in a blender. Drink it, there you go. You like oil, you like everything there. So why don't you like this? And it's just become, I don't care about Keith Lee and I hate that. I really do hate that. I don't understand why they've took the best, the most unique wrestler they've had since Punk, maybe even since Brock in 2003, and they just took all of his originality and just beat it into the ground and killed it dead. So Keith Lee, I think, would definitely benefit from a move to All Elite Wrestling. People I would like to see him wrestle include Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, Luchasaurus, Jake Hager, Jungle Boy, Wardlow, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, Cody, Darby Allin, everyone, Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian. The list is endless because Keith Lee can have a good match with anyone, please. Let him go. Let him go, Vince, please. So that's that for this video. Next week's video will be similar, but a little more up-tempo. And for that, I will say it'll be 10 unsigned wrestlers who I believe should be signed and where they should go. But yeah, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you think there are some people signed to one place that should be signed somewhere else, let me know in the comments. If there's anyone that you think I've said that you think is actually a perfect fit for where they are and they shouldn't be going there, or I've got where they should go wrong, also let me know in the comments. I hope you're keeping well and I hope you're staying safe in all these uncertain times. I hope that wrestling is bringing you the joy and the safety net that it is bringing me. I will see you tomorrow for an Impact review. Subscribe if you're new, share this around to all your wrestling fans, and I'll see you next time.